Good morning. It is 8:01 on a beautiful Sunday morning. It is June the 8th. Rise and shine. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather. Got to tell you, this morning, it is absolutely beautiful. There's a shot downtown Orlando. Little bit of haze. Otherwise, it's gorgeous. And you can even see the reflection there of the Lake Eola fountain in one of those downtown buildings. So, gotta love it when you see it. First warning, live Doppler radar. Scanning, not finding anything at all. It is a lovely, lovely morning. It's just a little bit of a warm morning, too. Look at some of these temperatures outside, right? Yeah, we're sitting at 77 right now in Orlando. It's 76 degrees in the Villages, 75 Daytona Beach, 77 degrees in Titusville. So little by little, boy, that summer is kicking in. 12-hour forecast showing a nice morning and a couple of storms this afternoon. It's not going to be a big, everybody gets in on the fun kind of thing, but we are definitely going to be seeing some of those storms, right? Makes sense. 91 by 1 p.m. 94 degrees our high temperature, 3 p.m., and that's where we'll have a couple of those storms popping on up. So let's do this. Let's first look around the horn, get an idea of today's forecast in terms of temperatures, and then we can also look at the storm chances with Futurecast, right? 94 degrees in Orlando, 93 in Leesburg, about 93 degrees in Daytona Beach. Let me pull up the old Futurecast, get an idea of where we're headed today. All right, here we are, starting nice. I'll bring it full screen. No need to see my ugly mug, right? So here's Futurecast. Looking good this morning. Through the day, starting to build in some clouds. 1:30, 2 o'clock, clouds building. Couple of showers trying to pop. And you can see it's around the metro 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then working off to the east by 5:30, right? And hanging out in our eastern spots. Now, while that's happening around here, look elsewhere. Really big area of severe weather, particularly Texas and Oklahoma, a level 4 out of 5 risk for strong to severe storms there. Dallas up to Texarkana and then back over, not Tulsa, Oklahoma City, that area. All of this north of Houston. You know, you get down Houston, San Antonio, Corpus Christi, the severe threat is not there. Then again, for us, while we're not expecting a big threat for severe weather, look north of us, right? Jacksonville, I-10 corridor, opportunity for some nasty storms there. But Georgia, a level 2 out of 5 risk for scattered strong to severe storms. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely some feisty stuff in the forecast today across other parts of the country. Not here, but definitely other parts of the country. So when we look at our overall idea, here's kind of the headlines for us. All right, a little bit of morning fog. That's all kind of burning off. It's going to be a hot day, though, as we had discussed. Look at where we're going the next 7 days, okay? Central Florida's certified most accurate 7-day forecast. If I remember to hit the button, stand by. There you go. All right. Central Florida's most accurate 7-day forecast showing rising rain chances. So big heat today, right? But looking ahead, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 60, 70% coverage of those showers and those thunder showers, right? So yeah, temperatures are going to come down. Rain chances are going to go up. If you're hanging out at the beaches, we've got your coastal 7-day forecast as well, because we want to make sure you know what's up. And again, rain chances rising. High temperatures will settle into the upper range of the 80s Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All right. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of rain opportunities for us. Okay, what's going on? So here's tomorrow, a nice hot day. We still have to say summer like heat because we're technically not to summer yet, right? Definitively, at least. But as we watch this overall pattern, lots of moisture around, but it's all, if you look at the very top of the screen, okay, there's an old front hanging out, dying out. And basically all it's doing is it's helping to, like a broom, shovel moisture into our area. Okay. I mean, I do think that we have now gotten into the rainy season, right? That pattern definitely looks like it's holding. I mean, any questions on this? Just review the 7-day forecast, right? But that's why the rain chances are going up, and it makes total sense, right? So that's kind of where we're at. At the moment, nothing looks overwhelmingly strong for us, but there's plenty of these showers and these thunder showers around. So it's going to be fun stuff for all of us to track. We're going to be doing just that. We're going to be just fine. Okay. All right. Before we go to the tropics, questions, comments, concerns, anything at all? As I pull up your comments now, because I've been just kind of running my mouth, so I haven't been reading them. Good morning. Let's see. Nancy, good morning. Eric, good morning. Amy Peterson over on YouTube, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Sonia. Christine Washington, good morning. Good morning. It's keeping my garden watered. Yippee, Sandy says. Gotta love that. Absolutely have to love that. Yeah, it's a good day. We just have to mow our grass more often, right? Can you make the moist triple-digit temps chill? Tim's asking, can you send an afternoon shower to Ohio? You know I can only do what I can do. Debbie says, yeah, my comment is vote for Eric. What are we talking about here, Debbie? This so brings back romper room memories. What part brings back romper room? Can you slow the map for Daytona on... Oh, can you show the map for Daytona on Wednesday? I want to go to the beach. Will it be a wash? So... looking at, yeah, we can go futurecast a little bit further out. Understand though that I don't think it's going to go to Wednesday, but here's Monday. You can see, by 2:30 we get those metro storms firing up. Tuesday, look at that. You can clearly see the coverage is higher, right? Look at Tuesday. Bada boom, as Manolfi would say. And then, yeah, Wednesday, that's as far as it goes. So we don't have Wednesday yet, but you get the idea, right? Yeah. So it's just going to be active. This is the summer pattern. It's just going to be everywhere, right? It's going to be like Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. Isn't that what they used to say? Debbie says, vote for Eric, best weather person, Orlando. Thank you. Oh, the Orlando Weekly thing. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. I'm never going to ask for the votes, but I appreciate it if you do. The Orlando Weekly best stuff thing. I'm never, some people are like, vote for me. And I'm like, that's uncomfortable. I get the ick. So I'm not going to ever ask, but thank you. Let's see here. Maybe in the low 90s. What are we talking about here? Questions, comments, concerns. Oh, there's Debbie. Best local TV news anchor. But I don't think I'm the best local TV news anchor. I think I'm the best meteorologist. I don't know that I think I'm the best, but you know what I mean. I don't think, the local news anchor is the news anchor. I don't do the news. DB over on Facebook's asking, talk about Friday. What's the percent? 60%. Essentially, today and tomorrow, we're going to have a few storms, but you're going to notice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're going to notice mid to late week a dramatic increase in that storm coverage. So outdoor activities are going to be a little more in jeopardy. Greg says it's Florida, so wait 15 minutes and the weather will change. Yeah, that's partially right. Yeah. Tim says vote early and vote often. I think you can do it every day. I don't know. Maybe. No, you go to that and it continues to weather. Got it. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. The weather is part of... Yeah, well, okay. All right. Eric, you are real. Tanya, thank you. Hey, I try. I enjoy this morning coffee show. Louise, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Look, we talk a little bit about the weather. We talk a little bit about, the train goes off the tracks. When there's real weather to discuss, we have to get down to business. But when the weather's a little quieter, we can take it easy and just let the train go off the tracks. Yeah. It's been a tad bit drier the last few days or so. Yeah. That's going away. Sunday, Monday, our rain chances are going to be a little lower, but then they go back up. Yeah. Melanie's asking, can the muggy meter go down? We're basically in our summer pattern, so the muggy meter is going to be the muggy meter. Yeah. What does he win if we all vote? So, Jeannie Rowan, I won a couple of years ago. I got a nice little thing to put up on my wall that said, like, best of Central Florida. I laugh because it was the year 2020. 2020. And I was like, well, that year was pretty messed up. So it's perfect that I was the best that year. You should be the only news anchor for Space Center. You have the most knowledge, seems to me. Whenever you choose to report, you always do your due diligence. Thank you, Keith. Look, I try to make sure that if I'm doing something, I know what the heck I'm talking about. I would also add that, as Chris Pierce has said, and I so agree with it, like, I like to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. I don't know. I like to learn just as much as I possibly can. Let's see here. Train still goes off the tracks when the weather requires attention. You just ignore us in the comments. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, he wins an attaboy and a $20 game. Hey, it's a nice thing to put up on the wall. That's all. And Chris, I meant that with only the most love. But I think you know that. Yeah. All right. So 2020, you were a staple in our house for Voice of Reason. So thank you again. Cindy, thank you. No. Thank you. As I always say, look, it's one thing to earn trust. And that's the way I feel about you all, right? It's one thing to earn trust. It's another to keep it. And I will always, always, always work hard to keep it. So there's that. All right. All right, so that's where we're at locally. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Otherwise, we can run out to the tropics, see what's doing out there. All right. In the tropics, let's talk a little bit about the Pacific. There is Tropical Storm Barbara in the Pacific, so they're already on their second storm. There are two other areas to watch in the Pacific. This is not the Atlantic. I'm only mentioning this because maybe you've heard about it. There's already the Barbara. No names have been used in the Atlantic basin. Okay. Barbara is expected to become a hurricane. Barbara is not going to bother us. That's the Pacific. Okay. When we look at the Atlantic basin, we have a completely different set of names, and we have not used any of the names yet whatsoever. Okay. Oh, Betsy, thank you very much. That's right. Another result from the cat. That's right. Rich, Eric, how do I hook up with you so I can give you National Weather Service quality rain estimates for Titusville? Still have dad's meteorologist in charge. Oh, official. Oh, very cool. Rich, shoot me emails. EBURRIS at Hearst.com. eburris at Hearst.com. Nautilus says EPAC. Yeah, the Eastern Pacific's getting active. It is. Yep. So anyway, we've had no named storms. We're not having any named storms next couple of days. There's nothing expected in the Atlantic basin whatsoever. So that said, let's look at the models and let's just get an idea. Of course, I have to sign in because I haven't done this in a couple of days. Of course. I can vault a smear. 2, 3, 4. Now I have to check my email. Yeah, of course. Where's my phone? Hold on. I still say you're brave giving us your email address. Listen. All right. Checking my email, bear with me. This is the absolute worst of this is why Coffee Talk really can't be on TV because it is not good TV. Can they name a storm? No name. Asking for your brother. Look, we have in the past, right? All right. So we do that. Weather bell. Oh, I can't even interact with it unless it's on camera because technical difficulties. Okay, so If I hit maps now, okay, I think we're in. Yay, we're in. Great. All right, from temperature to pressure, normalized anomaly, oceanic. All right, we're back. All right, so let's check the tropics. Ay vey. All right, raw GFS data. Yes, they can name a storm no name only after. Anyway, I digress. All right, so we got a little front there. High pressure. There's the GFS doing GFS things. Though that's, I would, now I have not, admittedly, I have not looked at model data in a few days. I have been completely off. So the first thing that sticks out to me is that this is the GFS doing this not 300 hours out. This is 156 hours out. This is next weekend. Okay, so first thing is it's generating a CAG, but it's not, it's not 300 hours out. So there's that. All right. Oh, that's funny, Jeannie Rowan. I rode through the Bay of Campeche on a hurricane with no name. It felt good to get out of Central America. Anyway, in the water, you can remember your name. All right, so that's the GFS putting together a pretty decent little hurricane. Let's go back a run. I'm doing this for me as much as for you. Okay, let's go back 2 model runs. Timing seems to continue. Now, this timing does match part of our long-range pattern, so okay. All right, so the GFS is showing something, developing around the 14th. Let's look over at the European. Now, maybe you guys are a little more caught up to date than I am, so don't hate me if you are, and I'm just playing a little catch-up here. First thing that stands out is the European model is showing a CAG, but it's showing it over on the Pacific side. It's not developing anything in the Caribbean or the Atlantic basin, the Caribbean, the Gulf basin. So there's that, right? Yeah. We don't need no stinking TV. We're good right here. That's right. That's right. We're doing our thing. Amy says freaking me out. No need to. No need to be freaking out. The European has nothing showing up. And hurricane season is going to be real long if every storm scares you. We don't need to do that. We don't need to be scared about every little storm. Okay? We don't need to do that. All right, so let's look over at the ensemble plots. Let me get this reset. Give me a few seconds. Okay. All right. GFS ensembles. Is the Sahara dust still over us? Yeah. So when I was flying to Fort Myers Friday, it was super hazy, super hazy. Like I was flying, and as I was like near Wauchula, and I'm like, is that a cloud layer? And as it got like right to me, I was like, ooh, that's a cloud layer. I had to do a 360 and descend to get around the clouds. All right, so the GFS ensemble is trying to show, but notice that it's even further out. It's like the 19th, the 20th, the 18th, 19th, 20th. So it's trying to show some stuff developing. Let's go back. Let's switch over to the European ensemble. All right, European ensemble. Eastern Pacific's busy, but look at that. The European ensemble has nothing, hardly. So, should we be worried? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. For now, there is no tropical development anticipated. None in the next 7 days' time. Okay. And even beyond that, the GFS is doing GFS things, but the consistency, remember, computer models, consistency breeds consistency breeds I need coffee. Consistency breeds confidence. So we don't have consistency in any kind of development. So it's not something to be worried about. Okay. All right. Questions, comments, concerns about anything? What you got? What you got in your head? My asthma and breathing are not happy with the dust. I know, man. You don't get an idea. Like going up to 5,000 feet and looking at it, it was like, wow. I mean, there's a lot of dust. There's a lot of dust. Debbie says, so pretty moist week. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I know you just wanted me to say that, but yes. Storm chances definitely going up. Yeah. We need an approach all storms like the original Florida man. Nothing, no problems. Yeah. Stand out in a storm holding the American flag. Jeez Louise. Yeah, I have lots in my head. Mostly hot air, but there's some knowledge in there. Don't you write yourself off. Jeez. Consistency breeds guidance, not gospel confidence. I know. Golly, words are hard. Dew points for midweek, lower 70s, low to mid. It's hot, muggy. Yeah, muggy. Yep. When does tracking the tropics with Jeremy start? Last week. So that means this Tuesday we've got another one. I need to look and see. Hmm. Let me look. Stand by. I got to find my work schedule for this week because Tuesday. Okay, yeah. So I've got an 11 o'clock meeting Tuesday. Okay, so yeah, so SUSF. Hold on a second. Okay, perfect. Perfect. That all works out. Yeah, tracking the tropics. Debbie says tracking the tropics was about 10 minutes this past week, basically an intro. Yep, it was quick. It'll be a half an hour this week as well. Tracking the tropics Tuesdays, 10 a.m. Jeremy Nelson from WJCL and I are live. So yeah, this week will be a longer version of 10 a.m. Yeah, I think we did it 11 last week because we had to, but yes, point taken there. Yeah. All right. Questions, comments, concerns, everybody? Cindy, can we get another run of Futurecast for today? Just because you asked nicely. Yes. Back to the rainy schedule. Yeah, I mean, today and tomorrow, a little subdued, but then, looking at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's back to a ton of storms. Yeah. All right, here's Futurecast for today. Adding in the clouds, 1, 2 o'clock, some spotty showers and storms. Nothing crazy, just some spotty stuff, right? 1, 2 o'clock, it kind of starts bubbling, working from west to east, and then ends up hanging out in Brevard, it looks like, through dinner time. Again, we'll go through to tomorrow. See, by 2, 3, let me back it up. Like 2, 3, you see it bubbling up. Watch what happens after, right? 4, 5 goes a little more widespread. And then look at Tuesday. Look at the difference here. Okay. 12, 12:30, 1, 2. A significantly higher coverage of storms, right? So, yeah, you can see that rain chance really rising. There's your, which comedian was, there's your sign, right? There you go. So you're telling me to go wash my car now so it can look pretty for a few hours until the rain comes back and ruins it. Yeah, there's that. There's that. Okay. All right. So up to a 60%, 70% coverage of storms. Coastal friends, I got you covered too. Okay. Kind of same coverage of rain for today and tomorrow. Inland spots tomorrow is going to be a little more active. Other than that, it's just going to be stormy Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll go back. Bill Engvall, that's right. That's right. All right, we'll go back to the just inland 7-day forecast, we'll say. All right. Yeah. Missed you the past few days. Hope you had some nice times. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Patty. I appreciate that. Alicia says yesterday was a good pool day. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We've had some beautiful weather, and we're going to continue to have some beautiful weather. That's what I love about it. Frank says not here. What's not here? That's the problem. Like, even though there's only like a 7-second or 5-second delay. Keith said, oh, wow, Keith. I just like pre-read that, and I am so grateful for that. Keith said, I just want to say thank you. Ever since you came into my life, you kept my employees and me safe. Your coffee talk has been the most valuable tool in my toolbox. You're a part of my family. Thank you for all that you do. Keith, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, bud. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oliver says life is much less stressful with a car wash subscription. Much easier to accept it. There's that. The ghosted woman had to do shipping yesterday. I was afraid everything was going to melt before I got home. I said, yeah, there's that. Alicia says, my rain chances seem to disappear as the week goes on. I assume you're not in Central Florida then? Yeah. Audrey, thanks. Just needed a couple of days, but we're back. We're here. And I think I'm doing the noon and 4 all week. I think I'm on TV. Checking. Standby. Yeah, noon and 4. Tuesday. Noon and 4. Yeah. So I'm doing the noon and 4 all week. Lucky me. Sometimes it's hard to get here in time to watch. It's here all day for a tape. You watch the tape delay, right? Nancy says, hope my flight won't be delayed going back home on Thursday from Mexico. Depending on the time of day, I mean, weather is weather, but at least the thing about it is the long haul flights are usually more apt to be on time-ish because the ground stops and things always hold kind of more local and regional flights. So those long haulers they'll usually try to bring the long hauls in a little bit easier. IFAR clearances won't get held up as much, etc. Mike says, I mow during the day rather than mornings and evenings, less mosquitoes. Everybody, yeah, but see, then it gets hotter. So there's a strategy to all of it, right? I suppose. Yeah. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns, my friends? So we've got Tracking the Tropics Tuesday on Tuesday. Otherwise, today and tomorrow, a relatively lower rain coverage than what we will see. Okay. Yeah. Sound good? Yeah. Everything else good? Are we good? Nope. Early morning or evening. Way too hot midday now. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. Charles, I don't think I've ever seen you mow, come to think of it. Just a small suggestion for the taped version of Coffee Talk. Could you add the date bottom right corner? So it's not a taped version of Coffee Talk. It's just a live simul. It's just I broadcast live and then the live version stays. So I can't like add that there. Yeah. Kelly says, where should I get my coffee today? That's a legit question. I'm indecisive. Oh, man. Oh. What about like a local place you've never been to before? Is there anything around that's local that you haven't experienced? Do that adventure on a Sunday. Why not? Oh my gosh, Bob, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. All right. That's all I got for you, friends. That's all we got. Hopefully the tropics stay quiet for a nice long while. Hopefully. Mike says, you could tell Mike's probably from New England. Mike says the answer is always Duncan. Okay. That's funny. Pat says on YouTube, I like being live to chat with the whole nice community you have. Well, I haven't built it. You all have built it, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Traveling from Houston, arriving at midnight. What's the rain forecast? Looking at Florida, there's some storms, but nothing too crazy. I can't tell you across the rest of the Southeast, but just drive safely. All right. Mike says New York, baby. All right. There you go. All right, people. Listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you tomorrow morning for Coffee Talk at 8 a.m. And in the meantime, enjoy.